In the generations that followed the great cataclysm known as the flood, the world stood transformed. The waters had withdrawn, but the memory of what came before did not vanish so easily. The land was raw, reshaped, and silent in ways it had never been before. Yet something lingered. Among early communities, stories began to circulate quiet at first, then repeated with increasing certainty. They spoke of beings that did not fully belong to the order of humanity. Figures of immense stature. Presences that seemed tied to a time before judgment had swept the earth. They were called giants. Some believed they were distant echoes of the Nephilim, remnants of a corrupted age that had once filled the world with violence and imbalance. Others thought they were simply men, but men altered by something ancient, something not entirely understood. Generations passed. Empires rose and fell. Civilizations formed across deserts, valleys, and coasts. And eventually, a people emerged whose story would intersect with these lingering mysteries. Israel, not a vast empire, but a nation defined by covenant rather than power. A people who believed they were being led into a land promised long before their time. Yet that land was not empty. When the Israelites approached Canaan, they encountered fortified cities, established cultures, and something more unsettling. In certain regions, especially toward the north and east, there were accounts of individuals whose size and strength exceeded all expectation. These were not ordinary warriors. Their presence alone inspired fear. One name became central in these accounts: Og, king of Bashan. Descriptions of him were striking. His resting place made of iron was said to be far larger than that of any ordinary man. His reputation carried weight not just as a ruler, but as a symbol of something ancient still standing in the new world. The confrontation that followed was not merely territorial. It felt like a continuation of something unfinished. On one side stood Israel, people shaped by faith, guided by the belief that their path was directed by divine purpose. On the other stood figures that seemed to belong to a different era, echoes of a world that had already been judged once before. The battles were real. Dust rose beneath the movement of armies. Bronze weapons clashed. Voices echoed across rocky terrain and open plains. Fear moved through the ranks of ordinary men who now faced opponents beyond anything they had known. Yet the outcome of these encounters, as preserved in the narrative, was not attributed to physical strength alone. It was framed as something deeper. One by one, these towering figures disappeared from the land, not instantly, but gradually, as if time itself was erasing what no longer belonged. Still, the memory did not fully fade. Years later, in a valley known for its battles, another giant would step forward, Goliath of Gath. His presence would again revive the same tension, the measurable against the immeasurable, the visible against the unseen. But once more, the story would not be decided by size or strength. It would turn on faith. After that moment, the references to giants became fewer. Their cities fell into ruin. Their names remained, but more as echoes than realities. Were they truly descendants of an ancient, pre-flood lineage? Or were they powerful men whose stories grew in the telling? The text does not resolve every question, but it preserves a pattern. Before the flood, the world was described as filled with disorder, boundaries crossed, structures broken. After the flood, history moves toward restoration, toward a re-establishing of balance between the human and the divine.